Thank you. I'm Mr. Lehner, and welcome back to another exciting webisode of Mr. Lehner's Math Extravaganza. In today's webisode, we're going to take whole numbers or mixed numbers and divide them by fractions. We're also going to be using some food in there to get us ready for some real-life situations that you might actually have to divide whole numbers or mixed numbers by fractions. Let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into this webisode. All right, in our first problem up here, it says Mr. Lehner is making pizzas, one of my favorite foods. He has 4 blocks of cheese to use for his pizzas. How many pizzas can he make if each pizza needs the following amounts? So look at my problem up here. I know that I have 4 blocks of cheese to use. I know that I have 3 different amounts to make different pizzas. I want to know how many pizzas I can make if I need to use 1/3 block of cheese, how many pizzas I can get using 1/5 block of cheese, and how many pizzas using 1/4 a block of cheese. Well, let's attack this problem one step at a time. Let's look at the 1/3. Well, what does that mean? Basically, if I have 4 blocks of cheese, I need to divide each block of cheese into 1/3. So I would say, writing it out, 4 divided by 1/3. Well, if I divide 4 by 1/3, I'm going to get 12 pizzas. Well, we can use the first method we could try is using the recip and flip like we talked about in the last lesson in the last video. Let's bring our 4 down, change division to multiplication, flip and recip, the 1/3 to make it 3/1. 4 times 3 is 12, 1 times 1 would be 1, which is going to equal 12, and in this case, 12 what? 12 pizzas. Now, you may be a visual learner like I am. I like to see things out differently. So if I were to take my 4 blocks of cheese up here, well, I need to break it into a third, because I need 1/3 for each pizza. So here I took 1 block of cheese and made it into thirds. Well, that's 1 pizza, 2 pizza, 3 pizza. So from each block I could make 3 pizzas. 3 pizzas, 6 pizzas, 9 pizzas, 12 pizzas. Because I only need 1/3 of a block for each pizza. Not so bad? Alright, let's try 1/5. I'm going to do the same thing. I still have 4 blocks of cheese, and I'm going to use 1/5 of each block to make a pizza. So 4 divided by 1/5 is going to equal 20 pizzas. Let's try the recip and flip again. Kind of like doing that, it's pretty fun. You do 4, bring down this, make it times. 4 times 5/1, which is the reciprocal of 1/5, which is going to equal 20/1, which is going to equal 20 pizzas. Let's get that visual out here so we can kind of see here. Here's my 4 blocks of cheese again, but now for each block that I have, I can get 5 pizzas out of each block because I only need 1/5 of the block of cheese. So I broke this into 5 equal parts. I can get 5 pizzas there, another 5 would be 10, another 5 would be 15, and another 5 would be 20 pizzas. So I took my 4, which was my whole number, my 4 blocks of cheese, but now I cut them up into 5 individual pieces for each block of cheese. That's important there. Last one, 1/4. I now can take 4 blocks of cheese and divide each one into a 1/4, which is going to give me 16 total pizzas that I can make because each one I can get 4 pieces from each piece of block, or each block of cheese. But if I use the recip and flip, 4 times 4/1 would be 16/1, which would be 16 pizzas in there. Let's take a look at our visual now. Here's my 4 blocks of cheese. Now I'm cutting them into 4 equal parts. Each piece I can make a pizza with. So this little 4th right here is 1 pizza. Here's another one for a pizza. So each block can get me 4. So there's 4, 8, 12, 16 pizzas I can make using 1/4 block of cheese. Now let's take a look at something here. I see thirds, I see fifths, and I see fourths. I don't understand that when I look at my answers here, if I'm using a 3rd block of cheese, how am I only getting 12 pizzas? But if I use a 5th, I can get 20 pizzas. That doesn't make sense to me. I thought that if I was using a 5th when we use multiplication, that it was a smaller piece. So I don't get how I can get more pizzas when a 1/3 is a bigger piece. If I look here, here's only a 5th, here's a 1/3. How does that make sense then, if that's what I told you guys in multiplication? Oh, you got an idea? Oh, we're dividing our fractions? So even though these are smaller pieces, I can get more pizzas out of them. Oh, well that makes sense. Right, because a third's a bigger piece, so I'm going to be able to make less pizzas because we're dividing up our total number. Whew. I'm glad you guys are out there to help me out with this one. I was kind of struggling with this division of fractions up here. All right, I think I got it now. That makes a little bit more sense. Whew. Luckily, it's your turn. I can kind of take a sigh of relief out here. You are making Mr. Lehner a cookie pie. Ooh, I'm kind of glad I wore my Cookie Monster blue shirt today. You like how I got that to work together? Huh? Coordinated that one a little bit. But you're making Mr. Lehner a cookie pie. You have 3 giant cookies for the pies. How many pies could you make using the following amounts? Okay, so you're going to make me some cookie pie. Imagine you have to use 1/4 of a cookie, a half a cookie, and 1/3 of a cookie to make the pies. How many pies could you make using those amounts? I know you got your pencil ready, you got the paper all ready to go. Go ahead and pause the video and we'll see what you come up with. Alright, let's take a look at what we know here. There's 3 giant cookies, and I'm trying to find out how many cookie pies I can make using 1/4 of a cookie. Well, I'm going to take my 3 cookies and divide each cookie into a fourth. So 3 divided by 1/4 is going to be 12 cookie pies. Again, let's use the recipient flip. 3 times 4 over 1 is going to equal 12 over 1, or 12 pies. Me, I'm a visual learner. I like to see it this way. Here's my 3 giant cookies. I have to break each one up into fourths. So there's 4 possible pies, 8 pies, 12 pies. If you decide to draw a picture making it circles because they're cookies, that's fine too. You guys can use that visual. It's the same type of visual. I just use the lines because it's easier for me to make them even when I draw them out. Alright, let's look at a half cookie then. So I'm going to take 3 divided by a half. That's going to give me 6 pies. Or use the reciprocal. 3 times 2 over 1 is 6 over 1, which is equal to 6. Now if I were to take my 3 giant cookies and break them in half, there would be 6 possible pies from those cookies. And then lastly, a third. 3 divided by 1/3 is going to be 9 pies. If I use the reciprocal, 3 times 3 over 1 would be 9 over 1, which is equal to 9. So again, I took my 3 cookies and I split them into 3 parts. There's 3 pies, 6 pies, and 9 pies. Again, a couple of different strategies used to solve these types of problems. Again, using whole numbers or mixed numbers and dividing them by fractions. Thank you for tuning into a very cookie and delicious Mr. Lehner's Math Extravaganza. As always, we'll see you next time.